Industry. Musicians sued their labels. Some rappers ended up in court, and fans were at odds with recording companies over secondhand CDs. Mark Shearer looks back.
3, 2, 1!
In many ways, 1993 was not a groundbreaking year in music, but in Cleveland, at least, it was, as they dug in to start construction of the long-awaited Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In Washington, President Clinton kicked off his inaugural night at MTV's ball, thanking the Music Channel for helping motivate young voters. A potentially earth-shaking lawsuit pitted George Michael against his record company. He told a British court that Sony, which bought his label CBS, had no appreciation for the creative process, and he wanted out of his 15-year contract. Music consumers wanted to fry the major record companies when they tried to crack down on sales of used CDs. Garth Brooks threatened to withhold his new album from any retailers who bought and sold secondhand CDs. Hit by lawsuits, the major labels backed off, only to find the Federal Trade Commission investigating their CD pricing practices. Axl Rose's cover of a Charlie Manson song appalled label president David Geffen, but the band kept the song on its new album, saying proceeds would go to the victims, not the criminal. Paula Abdul turned aside the claims of a backup singer who said she sang a lot of Abdul's parts on Forever Your Girl. Courtrooms seemed to be filling up with rap artists in 1993, with Snoop Doggy Dogg, Tupac Shakur, and Flavor Flav facing criminal charges for violent offenses. Snoop's album, Doggy Style, debuted at the top of the charts, while the rapper was awaiting trial on accessory to murder charges. His producer, Dr. Dre, had the year's biggest rap CD with The Chronic. While gangster rap got the headlines, it wasn't all there was.
Probably the most popular rap record of the year was a record called Oop, There It Is.
Janet Jackson weighed in with one of the year's top-selling albums, along with Billy Joel, U2, Sting, and country's Alan Jackson. Frank Sinatra used fiber optics to sing duets with other stars. Mariah Carey married her record company's president, Tommy Mottola. In other mergers, Simon and Garfunkel reunited for a series of concerts, and so did the brains behind Steely Dan, Donald Fagen and Walter Becker. Breaking apart were Bill Wyman from the Rolling Stones and Natalie Merchant from 10,000 Maniacs. When it came to comebacks, it was Back into Hell for Meatloaf, who reheated his career. Duran Duran revived themselves, and Boy George was smiling after The Crying Game put his face back in circulation. Townsend won a Tony Award for bringing Tommy to Broadway. Although Madonna's detractors tried to say she was past her peak, the Girly Show tour generated protests wherever the singer went, proving she still matters very much.
It's a good rock album. Buy it.
Liz Phair's provocative debut album was cited as part of a new wave of women in rock.
At the same time, there seems to be the reassertion of the white male, if not guitar hero, then guitar band.
Pearl Jam epitomized that guitar rock resurgence, and Time magazine mainstreamed it. Just a year or so ago, the pundits were asking, is rock and roll dead? Well, the answer may be it was just waiting for new blood to give life to older styles. And if musical ground wasn't broken in 1993, the industry still shook now and then. Mark Shearer, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
And there you have it. Back with more news in 2 minutes. I'm Chuck Roberts. Happy New Year. A whole day's news every half hour. This is Headline News.
In Poland,